Hi, this is Racer KK10R welcoming you back to more Real Racing 3 gameplay. We are in our exclusive race mini-series, and this video will concern with the first cut and the many different conditions you will find in the first cut. We want to do the best we can to go quickly through it and not be stopped by barriers and cars and too much off-track time. One thing I did not mention in the first video on the first 2 laps is that I did mention the fact that we need to do at least 6 cars in the first lap, maybe 5 or 6 in the second lap or more. But one thing that is important is you do start with 60 seconds on the clock and you get the maximum of 90. So if you do 6 cars and many cars in the first couple laps, you do get up to your maximum 90 seconds that you'll need in the future. So this cut, as I said, will start the turn. We're not going to brake. We're going to start the turn at the ripple strip. We're going to cut into the grass, and then we're going to go between the 2 barriers. We're going to turn and go straight. And it's a very fast turn. You see we're overtaking that car. I'll show as many examples as I can get on here of the different conditions. On this example, we have a car immediately in front of us, and we're just past the corkscrew after the start-finish line. These conditions are conducive for passing 4 cars. I don't really need to at this moment because I have 90 seconds as I pass the start-finish line. But if you're in a position where you need to add seconds in, say you're down to 30 seconds, you do want to realize the conditions in which you're going to be passing 4 cars and try to take advantage of them as you can. So we will turn at the ripple strip, straighten up in the grass, and try to avoid the car and try to stay on track. I didn't aim very well enough to stay on track there, but didn't do too bad. I don't see cars in this area, so I may not be passing 4. Now, starting this cut starts all the way back at the end of the corkscrew where you're making a final turn onto the straight. That straight turn needs to be made as quickly and best as you can without going off track, so that you can be going as fast as possible through this whole straight, including the cut. We are right at the brake point on just before the start-finish line. I'm going to start the video with braking. And at this point we want to start studying the cars in front of us. Their position, just as we start to make our turn onto the grass, is where it's important to be able to predict where those cars are going to be when we get to the barrier choke point. So we have a car at the top of the hill. When we make the turn at the bottom, it stays right in front of us. This one we're probably going to be able to pass before we make our turn. Definitely be able to pass before we make our turn. You can do it from the middle or the side. Just make sure you're straight in the grass so that you don't swerve out too much. Okay, we do have a car in front of us that's not in the frame at the moment, but we'll see him in just a moment. Well, I'm messed up. He's going to get to the turn. You see he's making that turn right now before we make our turn. So he's going to be in front of us when we get to the choke point. That's one of the things that I use to predict where those cars are going to be, is where is that car ahead of me making its turn in relation to where I'm making my turn. Got a car in front of us. We're coming into the turn again. No, do not hit the back of the car. It slows you down. Obviously we're not going to have any trouble from that car because he's not even to the turn before we got to our turn. Now we'll be watching the car in front of us to see when he makes his turn relating to when we make ours at the ripple strip. We're going to be ahead of him. because we're ahead of his turn. Two no-nos. Don't hit the back of a car and don't hit a barrier. Just thought I'd give you an example of what not to do. Went back and got another set of laps because we were about to cross over 10 laps. Now I see two cars ahead of us. One is at the turn and one is coming up to the turn. So one of them may end up meeting us in the choke point between the barriers. We're turning before, so he'll be there after we are. He was turning before. No, he was turning after, so he came up to us after. I guess the video didn't go off. You'll see cars ahead, and we'll be going between them because one was there before us and one was there after us. I just passed a car turning onto the long straight, and there's one ahead of us that may turn around the same time we do, and he may be meeting us, so we'll try to go to the right, and we'll try not to hit the barrier the way I did. But the point is to try to get near the barrier and stay on the right side of the track so you avoid that car. Now I'm behind that car and I've lost time, so I have to catch up time, so I keep running. We'll probably go between those cars because we're just turning and he's already done his turn. But you can see when we catch up to him, we got to be sure we're not going into the back of him. Now the car immediately in front of us, we will go through the turn before him. And the other one up there makes his turn. We're off track. Bad example. Okay, we have a car a little in the distance and they may be turning around the same time we are, so we'll try to stay to the right and go around the car on the right side. That's all on track. All that asphalt to the right of us is on track, along with that brick ripple strip that you can use. You only need two wheels on it in order to get by that car. But you see, the point is to know where it's going to be and go around it as fast as you can in a good position. I've just completed lap 15, and we're coming into the first choke again. I was braking. Why was I braking? I should have been turning. Yeah, bad example. Try another one. Okay, I started over. I lost that game by not getting enough time, and I got back to past lap 15, so we can see some more examples of how to handle this turn. I got to remember to stop the brake. It's still a pretty good example, even though it's going slow. It's going out around the outside of the car. We may meet him in the... Nope. He turned before we did. This one looks like they're well spaced so that we will be going between them. Or we'll meet them because I was going too slow. Let's see how it looks here. We turn in for him, so he may run right into us. So when they're in that turn, just to go into that turn, or just as they are turning while we're turning, gotta watch for them. Sometimes if they're turning just a little bit after we are, then you have to go left of them instead. Look at the car. He's going to turn right about the same time we are. He's going to be there, so we want to... I was talking and looking at him and not going fast enough through the grass. You got to turn and go straight to the grass as much as possible. Okay, we're making our turn before he is, and so he may just meet us there. Kind of go to the right a bit to keep from hitting him. Now we should be able to slip between these two depending on when he turns. Oh, he may be in the lane, so we're going to go left. So we can go around him on that side. Let's see what this example looks like. We're going to go left. Just the timing of it. Once you get a feel for it and do it enough, you'll see where they are compared to what you're doing. You'll know which side you need to go. Turning together, so he'll be in the lane. I'm going to go left of him. Turn before me, I guess. He was way ahead. On this one, I just completed a 4 overtake turn, and so that tends to put the cars ahead of you in this particular side of the track further ahead of you than normal, because you've got another car that you've already passed that would have normally been ahead of you. He's going to be in the lane, so we'll plan to go left, but he wasn't in the lane as closely as I thought he was going to be. I'm way off track. On this one, I just had a 2 overtake run, so I'm closer to the cars ahead. Hopefully I'll be able to translate into that into at least a 3 or a 4 overtake run. I translated it into a barrier bang. Let's see what this example brings. I was afraid he was going to come over and clip me, so I went to as far right as I possibly could to avoid him, but he didn't get there in time. Getting low on seconds. Hopefully I'll get a 4 run and be able to increase them now. He did clip me. It should have been more to the right. If you roll that back and play in slow motion, then you can see where the car was in the turn when I was turning, to know when that condition's going to occur. Oh, let's just go on. $43 and that 28, so we can get it up to 53 in the next one. That's not working well. I'm kind of sloppy here. Alright, we'll see what the example comes up with. We're turning, he's going to be there if I don't skid and go off track and slow myself down. Well, hopefully you've seen a lot of the examples of what can happen in the first chicane and how to aim to avoid it. I didn't get very many examples of a car coming into the chicane while we're there, so we need to go left, or getting through it just before we get there, but there were an example or 2 of those, and so just a matter of experience and knowing that you're going to be looking at where the car turns compared to where you're turning, and then deciding where to go based on where you think he's going to be. Our next video series will show this chicane up and coming, starting here, including all the way through this section where you don't want to hit backs of cars the way I am, and getting through that cut. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Come back and see how the rest of the video series turns out, and good luck to you in your races.